Merry Christmas. Okay. 25th of December 2023. Christmas 2023 in Cooma, New South Wales, Australia. Okay. Merry Christmas. Season's greetings. Happy solstice. Okay. The Blue Beetle core, number 9, I suppose, is what it's now being sequenced as. New recruits 3. So this is the, I suppose, the third story arc, third story arc, I think it is. Third ideas sequence story arc. Okay, this is New Recruits 3. I've got a story. It's written in the notebook, 3.5 pages in the notebook. Just wrote it out. It's a story. It's about a new Blue Beetle. His name is Zardoz. He's named after the movie called Zardoz from the 1970s. It was a movie in the 1970s, a science fiction movie called Zardoz, with Sean Connery in it and Charlotte Rampling. I think it was directed by John Borman. It's a classic. Might not be everybody's cup of tea, but a lot of people probably like it. Science fiction some people might like it a bit. I loved it. Loved the movie. Got to get it. I think I've got to get on DVD. I haven't seen it for a long time. Okay. So it's introducing the Blue Beetle called Zardoz, and as a bad guy he's after called Drang or Drong. Probably Drong. Okay. This is it. Blue Beetle Core 9 in the sequence. So this is the Blue Beetle Core New Recruits 3. Okay, here we go. I'll read it down. Zardoz the Blue Beetle examined the air gun. Standard Cord Industries technology. To deal with the enemy without hurting them. He placed it in its holster, attached to his belt, and left the bug, coming out into the asteroid mining camp. An artificial atmosphere generator happily gave warmth and oxygen. He located Drong Sasby. You're wanted by intergalactic justice, said Zardoz the Blue Beetle to Drong the miner. For what? Asked Zasby. Theft. 1,000,000 packets of cigarettes from the space cruiser Teleconnector 7, the Asturian space supplier. Bite me, replied Drong. Drong reached for a knife and threatened Zardoz. I have this, said Zardoz, pulling out the air gun. You're a Blue Beetle. It's a lame, ruddy air rifle at best, replied Drong. Hardly a worry. Zardoz pointed the air rifle at Drong and shot him. Drong went hurtling through the air. Zardoz followed after him, and Drong got to his seat and dusted himself off. Bloody annoying, he said. Come quietly, said Zardoz the Blue Beetle to Drong the miner. Bite me, replied Zardoz, this time with a bit more certainty in his voice. Zardoz pointed the gun at him and shot him for the second time. Again Drong went hurling through the air. Zardoz followed after him. Drong got to his seat. He had a nosebleed this time. You're pissing me the hell off, Blue Beetle, he said. Come quietly, said Zardoz. Bite me, dude, replied a very annoyed Drong the miner. thief of cigarettes. Zardoz pointed the gun at him for the third time and shot him again. Drong went hurtling, and Zardoz followed after. The miner Drong Sasby lay there on the asteroid floor, looking up at the space above him. Other miners had now emerged, coming to see what the fuss was all about.
Busted in for the ciggies, has he?
Asked Double Chin Mektar, an old miner.
Yeah,
replied Drong.
Them's the breaks,
said Mektar.
Look, best go quietly, Drong. Could be trouble otherwise.
Come quietly, said Zardoz the Blue Beetle, yet again to Drong the miner. Drong got to his feet. He was now in a bit of a state.
Where you taking me then, dude?
You will serve 6 months in an Owen security cell. We have already tracked most of the tobacco. You will be returned here on completion of your sentence. Come quietly. Drong looked at Mektar, who nodded that it was the right thing to do.
Fine,
he said at last to Zardoz. Follow me, said Zardoz. Drong the miner, albeit reluctantly, followed after Zardoz the Blue Beetle back to the bug. The bug took off and came into space and began its journey of a few days to Oa, home of the guardians of the galaxy, of the universe. Drong was taken, imprisoned, and began his sentence. Zardoz had played cards with the miner on the trip. The criminal was actually a bit of a lively lad, all things considered. Not the worst fellow Zardoz had ever dealt with in his experience. Not the worst kind of scumbag dealt with in the history of the Blue Beetle Corps. The end.